What is up, Grocknation? Welcome back to the arcade this evening for a spooky list of great horror movies for the season of Halloween. One of my favorite seasons, as you can obviously tell from my arcade decorum, if you will. I hope everyone's doing well, staying safe during these somewhat unsafe times. And I'd like to give a shout out to Miss Vivian Fernandez for coming up with this idea of my favorite horror movies. And I figured what better time to do it than the month of Halloween, October. So in this video, guys, we'll be discussing all these movies. We will be having a lot of masks and discussions. There may be some spoilers for these movies. Spoiler alert. But for the most part, we're going to be just discussing possible plot points and certain parts of the movie I think you're going to find very terrifying or enjoyable. And some personal stories, of course. Yeah. So, yeah, guys, this is a new mask I got. I actually got it for my spooky stories video. I want to do this this week, if not this weekend. And I wanted something a little different, a little more Halloween-y. And I figured this nice orange glowing light would really set the tone, if you will. So with that being said, guys, sit back, relax, put the headphones on, close your eyes. If you want to open them and watch the movie posters and somewhat movie scenes, silent movie scenes I'll be putting on of these movies, go right ahead. Fun fact, I used artist movie posters, not the actual movie posters, for all these movie posters, so that's going to be a little interesting. But yeah, other than that, guys, sit back, relax, and let's go over my top 20 spooky Halloween movies. Let's get into it. So first up on this list, we have 2020's Gretel and Hansel from director Oz Perkins with actress Sophia Lillis. Those of you that would remember her from the clown movie It. This is actually a mask from the video game Dead by Daylight. The clown killer, the clown. A mask I never wore too much because the eye holes cut into my eyes. I don't know why this mask is made this way, but yeah, I can't take this. Okay, that's much better. Ow, 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 ow. I don't know why it's like that, but yeah, like the eyes are inverted and it digs into your eyeballs. It's weird. It's like it sits on your eyeballs. Strange. I got it from my stream when I was streaming Dead by Daylight to play as the clown, but it's so uncomfortable I couldn't get through. Like just a few minutes just then, so it's kind of like a decor now. But yeah, guys, 2020's Gretel and Hansel by Oz Perkins, a retelling, if you will, of the German folklore story Hansel and Gretel, which we all know from kids, kindergarten, grade 1 and such. It's like a dark twist on it. It's not so much scary as it is creepy. There's very few jump scares, but yeah, it'll really set the mood, especially for fall Halloween time. Sorry about that, guys. My furnace is going to be kicking off on and on here from here on out. As winter started where I'm from, there's a massive blizzard outside. But so if there's little odd cuts or you're wondering why I cut, it's because I didn't want you guys to have to listen to the furnace. But yeah, it really sets the mood for like a fall spooky, like a thriller. It's almost like in that thriller category, but a very great movie, underrated, and I think underwatched. I don't know a lot of people that have watched it. I actually watched it with my fiance just a few weekends ago for like a movie night on the weekends, because I really do love watching my spooky stories, or my spooky movies, my scary movies, Halloween time, especially my Netflix shows. Netflix always comes up with amazing Halloween shows. The Haunting series is now Midnight Club this year. Yeah, there's so many great things to watch here. So many good movies to watch, guys, during this this month. It feels right. It feels right for sure. So yeah, that's number 20, Gretel and Hansel from 2020. Check it out. So up next on the list, look, I'm a big baby. budget found footage film, The St. Francisville Experiment. Guys, I would 100% give this a watch. It's very low budget, and it really like tried to bank on that Blair Witch found footage genre, and it really is a really creepy, spooky movie. Alright, let's lose the baby mask. So it is a really, really great found footage movie. Basically, it's about a team of paranormal investigators to go and investigate this haunted house, and not a lot happens till the very end. The climax of this movie is what really stands out for me. So the reason why this movie's even on this list, because most of you probably never heard of it. I remember late one summer, myself and my cousins were up watching HBO late, and it was on HBO late, like I'm talking after midnight, and it was so hot. I remember we had the fan going, and yeah, we put that movie on, and we were watching it. It scared the shit out of us. That ending scene when she's looking in a mirror at the very end. I don't want to ruin too much in case you want to watch it. You can actually watch it online now. I think I actually had it on YouTube, the entire movie. It's yeah, it's very, very low budget, but I would definitely give it a look. It's good for some scares, you guys. And yeah, don't take it too serious. I rewatched it last year, and it's not nearly as scary as it used to be for me. But again, it's because I used to watch it a lot. I actually recorded it on a VHS tape. That's how long ago this was. But yeah, guys, that's 2000's The St. Francisville Project. Give that a watch. There, this one's a lot more comfortable in terms of clown masks, but not as comfortable as the one I'm going to be wearing next. But yes, guys, up next on the list we have the James Wan horror movies, because I didn't want to put one single movie from these movies in here. It's just, how do I say this without sounding like I'm shitting on these movies? The Conjuring universe and Insidious universe are all made by basically the same people. They're scary, good jump scare movies that really sell tickets, and I'm really interested in them, especially the Conjuring universe, because that's the Warren Files, and we've discussed Warren Files in my spooky stories. It's just, if you've seen one, you've seen them all. I don't know how else to explain this. All these movies on this list, I can remember all these movies. I can barely remember any one single horror movie from this collection of Insidious or Conjuring. They're all, you've seen one, you've seen them all. They all seem the same. If I am going to give a recommendation, if you're going to watch these, you're going, Grock, which one should I watch? I would recommend Insidious 1 for sure. Has one of the biggest jump scares I've ever had in a movie theater. The scene where the demon shows up behind Patrick Bateman out of fucking nowhere scared the shit out of me in theaters. I jumped. I would also watch the first and second Conjuring. They're very, very good. Annabelle Creation is also good. The scene with the priest holding the cross in his hand breaks and the demon comes out of the shadows was so fucking scary for me. But for the most part, like I said, you've seen one, you've seen them all. Yeah, take it with a grain of salt, you guys. But yeah, that's the James Wan Insidious Conjuring universe movies. I would put those at number 18. Just, they're good for a good scare. I guess you turn the lights out, everything else, and you should get a good jump, especially if you've never seen any of them before. But yeah, I'm not going to, there's a few movies in the list higher up where we're going to be doing the same thing. It's going to be a franchise, and I'll touch on one or two that I'm really, really a fan of, and we'll go from there. But yeah, this is number 18, the Conjuring Insidious universe movies. Definitely check those out if you've never seen them. If you've been living under a rock for the last 10 years and you're a horror movie enthusiast. Alright guys, let's keep moving on. Alright, coming in at number 17 from your favorite ASMR clown is 2005's Wolf Creek. Wolf Creek is one of those most unsettling movies you'll ever watch, especially if you're a traveler, a young person that backpacks. I avoided Hostel. I don't find Hostel a very scary movie. That's more Fangoria. You're watching Hostel the same reason you would watch Terrifier 1 or Terrifier 2. You're watching it for the gore, this is more unsettling in that these young people that are traveling across the outback Australia, it's a lot like the deep dark south of the United States. Like, you're in these areas where you're so far from everything else. A guy like Mick in Wolf Creek could get away with something like this. You have nowhere to run. You have no one to go to. You just gotta try to outsmart and get away from this guy. I remember we rented this, me and my friend Jackass, and the head on a stick scene, I don't want to mention when it is or who it happens to. It literally makes me sick to my stomach to this day. It was so well done. Yeah, this was part of the craze in the mid-2000s. It started until probably the mid-2010s. It was in that same like routine of horror movies where the bad guy or the monsters or the killers always win. They get away with it. A lot of movies around them were doing this, and this was no different. There was a sequel years later, which I didn't get around to watch till way later. But yeah, guys, it's a very, very, very dark movie for sure. It would be perfect for the month of Halloween, October, for you guys to check out. But yeah, guys, it's gonna be number 17, Wolf Creek. Okay, so up next we have 2002's M. Night Shyamalan classic, Signs. M. Night Shyamalan will probably go down as the master of horror suspense, the Hitchcock, if you will, of the 2000s and 2010s for sure. His movies are masterpieces. You know, I didn't include The Sixth Sense because I consider that a thriller, not a horror. And for the most part, I would say Signs is also more of a thriller, but there are scenes and signs that scare the shit out of all of us. They always have. I remember, this is kind of a off-topic kind of deal, but I remember I had my first date with a girlfriend I had in Meadow Lake. Our first date it was, me and her. And we went to watch a doubleheader at the movie theater there, at the Dynasty Theater it was called. And it was Signs, and Ernest Scared Stupid was playing it. For like, you got to watch both of them for the price of watching Signs. And yeah, there's some scenes in there, like that alien walking across the bush, still, it fucks everybody up. And it made us all jump back then. And the thing I really like about a movie like Signs, and even War of the Worlds, movies like that, I like to, Cloverfield as well, the very first Cloverfield, I like these kind of horror movies where you don't know what's happening everywhere else, you're only seeing the scenario from these people's perspective. Signs is a little different than War of the Worlds in that Signs, at least, Joaquin Phoenix is watching the TV and he can kind of see what's happening across the world. Whereas in War of the Worlds, they have no idea what's going on, but it's just their point of view. The information you get is what they have, and it's so great. And the suspense build up to the end of the movie is so good, and just a great movie. One of those horror movies or thrillers I watch routinely once every other year, so it's so good, so well made. Definitely check that out, guys, if you're looking for an alien-like horror movie, scary movie for Halloween. 2002's Signs from M. Night Shyamalan. So coming in at number 2019's classic from Ari Aster, the second movie on this list. You guys probably know what the first one is. This is 2019's Midsummer. Man, what hasn't been said about Midsummer, you guys? A classic suspense movie. There's no horror here, guys. There's no monsters, there's no ghouls. There's the alludence of Satanism, maybe. That's as close as we get, but it's just this eerie hopelessness, I guess you could say, of these young people going to a foreign country and being trapped there and slowly being picked off by this cult kind of deal. These people that, worship the old Norse gods kind of deal. I don't want to ruin too much of the movie for you guys. It's amazing. The opening sequence will definitely make you sick to your stomach. It was so well done. I remember it threw everyone off in the theater when we watched it because it was so gut-wrenching and scary at the same time. And yeah, It's got the amazing, beautiful Florence Pugh as the star, and she really does an amazing job in this movie, you guys. You really root for her, and you really hate her douchebag boyfriend. But yeah, a really good suspenseful thriller movie, I would say. I'm putting it on here because it would be really good for Halloween for sure. If you want to watch this on a night you want to have a little spooky movie with your friend, your wife, your husband, whatever it may be, definitely, guys, check out Ari Aster's 2019's classic Midsummer, coming in at number 15. Check it out. Alright, guys, we'll give the masks a break for a bit, until the top 10 at least. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me really well with the masks on or not, but again, this video is not meant to be taken serious. We are having some fun here tonight, you guys. So yeah, with that being said, let's move on. We are now on number 14. And for God's sake, get out. We're talking about 1979's classic, The Amityville Horror. This movie is based on, of course, the Amityville Haunting, which, if you've been living under a rock as a horror fan or a paranormal enthusiast, you definitely have heard the story by now. The Lutz family bought a house and in Amityville, and they didn't even last 30 days. They got run out by demonic forces. This story is also notable in that it's the first time that America got introduced to the Warrens on a national scale, as they were the paranormal investigators brought in to investigate. Of course, the Lutzes and the Warrens clash on the accounts, and the movie definitely took artistic liberties as to what happened or what the origin of it is. I think it was an Indian burial ground in a movie. I'm not sure. I don't want to look it up and ruin it for you guys, but yeah, it's a very good movie. And yes, I would put this as a horror. There's a lot of stuff that dabbles in it, demonic, and you know, there's ghosts and screams, and it's a really good movie, especially for Halloween. I would definitely recommend it. I remember when I was a kid, the flying pigs in the window scene always freaked me the fuck out. I'd always force myself to watch it. I'd have nightmares and stuff afterwards. But yeah, it's definitely not dated. Check it out, guys. It's still really good, still really scary. Actually, I almost watched it yesterday, or no, the day before. I almost watched it. I just came across it. I'm like, I wonder if I should watch this right now. I'm gonna do the video. I must get, a rehash on it because I haven't seen it in a few years. I decided not to, but yeah, guys, definitely check that out. That's number 14, and that's 1979's The Amityville Horror, the classic. Not that shitty Ryan Reynolds 2005 one. No, avoid that one. Alright, let's move on. So coming in at number 13, lucky number 13, we have 1986, a great year, by the way. We have 1986's The Fly with Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis. This is a genuine horror suspense movie. I think if you've never seen it, definitely give it a watch. If you're a fan of puppetronics from the 80s in horror movies, this will really tickle your fancy. It's got that kind of deal going on with it. And you really want, when you watch it, you need to know what happens. You want to know what's going to happen with him. And basically the plot is, it's a scientist that's trying to make like a teleportation device teleport from one part to the other. And he gets into the cell and he does a human trial on himself. While when he gets transported, there was a fly in the pod with him. There's two pods. And yeah, what follows is him and this fly slowly merging and becoming one. And it's a really creepy, scary suspense thriller for sure. I definitely would consider this a horror as well. But yeah, definitely give it a try. Gina Davis looks amazing, and they're one of my original crushes when I was a little boy. I was watching movies like she was in, such as The Fly, Thelma and Louise, etc., and seeing her back then, Beetlejuice, another great movie. But yeah, guys, 1986 is The Fly, coming in at number 13. Give that a watch. So coming in at number 12, we have 1982's classic, Poltergeist. They're here. Very great franchise of movies, 1, 2, and 3. It's, as the title suggests, about ghosts or poltergeists that haunt this family via the television set, the daughter more so. All three movies are great. 1,
will say for me personally, on a nostalgic level, I was a big fan of part 3, the one with the high rise. That always gave me nightmares when I was a kid. I remember I actually rented it at the movie store to try to scare myself one night when I was having a sleepover with my friend Preston. And we watched it, and I always remember there's that scene, I think it's the little maid or the little old woman, where as he grabs her, she like turns into rot, like she turns instantly rotted and she falls into a tub. It's so fucked up, and it really scared me as a kid. I think something starts crawling out of her, like a hand or something. I think the little girl comes out of her rotten, dry body. I don't know, guys. But yeah, that's part 3. That's my favorite of the 3, but all 3 of them are good, guys. Definitely give them a shot. The classics are good. It was remade in late 2010s, maybe 2018, 2019. Wasn't so great. He couldn't beat the classics. Again, Hollywood's laziness in trying to reboot classics like this. But yeah, guys, that's 1982's Poltergeist. Give it a watch, and make sure to watch the sequels as well. Alright. 2 possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe, or we are not. And both are equally terrifying. Coming at number 11, we got 2013's Dark Skies. This is such a great jump-scary, suspense-building alien abduction movie. Not really abduction. You know the abduction's probably gonna come, but like this, it's basically a movie about aliens that are targeting this one family, and how you find out that there are other people that get assaulted the same way, which is semi-true, factual. When you look up UFO abductions and UFO visits and whatnot with aliens and people, it's fucking terrifying. And yeah, this movie really touches on that, and it's really fucking creepy and really good for a good scare. The beautiful Carrie Russell is in here, and she looks fucking amazing. She's in her early 40s, I think, and oh my god, still gorgeous. Side note, I watched this in theaters. This is off topic, but there's the scene in there where the boy kisses the girl. It's his first kiss ever, and he's riding his bike home all happy with that song playing. I remember made it the whole theater bust up laughing from a movie at that point, which is all serious and suspenseful, but I always thought that was funny, and I always remember that when I think of that movie, because I've never seen a scene like capture that moment so great when you have your first kiss as a kid. It's so funny. But yeah, guys, Dark Skies, definitely give it a watch. It's a really well done horror movie, one of the better horror movies in the last 10 years for sure. Give it a try. So up next, entering the top 10, the first movie, or franchise as we'll call it, is 1984's A Nightmare on Elm Street. Now guys, this is going to be the whole franchise. All these movies are great. They're all good in their own way. My personal favorite is 94's New Nightmare. I'll get to that why. This is a great franchise, you guys, especially when you were a kid, because you'd be afraid to go to sleep after you watched these movies. You were afraid Freddy Krueger was going to come and get you and, fuck with you, and then you end up dying. Very well done. Easily one of the most iconic killers in all of cinema. One of the most iconic bad guys in all of cinema. Very disturbing, and yeah, but super scary and spooky. Perfect for the month of October, Halloween. If you've never ever gotten around to watching any of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, do yourself a favor and give them a watch, you guys. Watch right from the beginning to the end. My personal favorite is New Nightmare. I also like Dream Warriors as well. Unlike, the Twin series, I guess you could say Twin franchise, which would be Friday the 13th. Almost all of the Nightmare series is in chronological order. The stories intertwine. You got the same characters in multiple movies, so yeah, it's definitely worth watching it all and watching it in order. So yeah, guys, if you're gonna look to give yourself a bit of a spook and have a good time, it's good laughs as well. But again, very creepy and very scary. Give the Nightmare on Elm Street series a watch. You won't regret it.
Yeah, so that's gonna come in our top 10. It was a real close one where I was gonna put this franchise or not. I knew it was gonna be my top 10, but yeah, it's gonna come in at number 10, guys. So yeah, that's Nightmare on Elm Street, this series. Give it a watch. So coming in at number 9 is the Friday the 13th franchise, which includes everybody's favorite slashing killing machine from Camp Crystal Lake. Yeah, guys, Friday the 13th for me is very special, obviously, because I used to rent the movies a lot as a kid, and yeah, they have a lot of sentimentality for me for that reason alone, and not really in terms of scary, is more like stupidly gory and bad acting and just cheese. But I'm telling you, if you want to watch a movie at Halloween time, not take it too seriously and just have a good time, a fun time, you can't go wrong with Jason Voorhees. You'll definitely enjoy yourself, I promise you. And I mean, this killer is just super cool. I mean, he's my favorite killer in all of Hollywood and all of Hollywood movies. So definitely give it a shot. I would say for my personal favorite, if I had to pick, it would definitely be Part 7, The New Blood. Just because I remember that was the very first movie I rented as a kid while I was watching, or for my own Jason movie on my own I rented. And I thought it was so cool, the costume, which was this one, and it was my favorite Jason face under the mask, which was this mask, this face, which I thought was so cool with the puppetronics, or animatronics, and practical effects and everything. The mouth would move on its own, and the eye was yellow, and it rolled, and it looked so fucking cool. But yeah, guys, definitely give that a try. Check it out. Friday the 13th franchise is our number 9 pick for best movies to watch around Halloween time. Helen, be my victim. Coming in at number 8 is the 1992 classic Candyman. Candyman in the 90s, for us 90s kids, was a real cult classic and a cultural movie, in that if it was one of those things everyone talked about, because of, you say Candyman's name 5 times in a mirror and he'll appear. You had kids scared shitless of that. We used to lock people in bathrooms and look in a mirror and say Candyman 5 times, and they would get fucking terrified. Obviously a ripoff of the Bloody Mary folklore story, saying Bloody Mary 5 times in a mirror and she would appear. Yeah, everyone, I remember everyone in school was doing it, and you were genuinely scared. You were sitting in a corner of the bathroom when the lights were out, and waiting for Candyman to come and kill everybody with his hook. But again, guys, not as iconic, obviously, as Jason or Freddy, but up there with, I would say, Leatherface and even Mick from Wolf Creek is Tony Todd's Candyman. His voice, that deep, dark voice, man, it's just so terrifying. The music as well, the piano, creepy piano music, guys. If you've never seen the original 1992 Candyman, give it a watch, and then watch the reboot as well. That one's got a really eerie, good feeling to it too. One of the few good reboots that I've done. It really leaves it open for a sequel, and I really hope it does get a sequel, because it was really well done, and I really love Candyman. He's one of my favorite characters for sure, one of my favorite killers slash Halloween bad guys. Yeah, guys, definitely check that out. That's coming in at number 8, 1992's Candyman. 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 Hey, look, it's me again, ASMR Clown. Alright, coming in at number 7 is the 1982's classic John Carpenter film, The Thing. The Thing, The Thing, The Thing.
The Thing. My goodness, if you've ever wanted to see puppetronics in the 80s, in its heyday, in its glory, you need to watch 1982's John Carpenter's The Thing. To this day, it's so watchable because it's so well done, and those kind of practical effects, it just does, it's not done like that anymore. It's all CGI, and it's fucking terrifying, you guys. As a kid, this movie terrified me. The concept is great. It's the original Among Us, the video game. So much so that when the board game came out, I think it was 2016, the board game came out. When Among Us came out, that board game sold out so much that it went out of print, and it took 3 years of demands for them to get their prints back. And now we can all play it again. Me and my group of friends, we play that. I would say once every 2 months. It's a great game, and it just captures that paranoia that the original Thing has. So without giving too much spoilers away, The Thing is a movie about a group of researchers in the Arctic that come into contact with an alien life form that can mimic other humans. So you don't know who's human and who is the alien. And yeah, it's a very gory, horror-filled film, man. Oh, it's one of the all-time greats, guys, for sure. Definitely for the month of October. Give it a watch if you've never watched it. Again, it's not dated, and think of it like a piece of cinema history, because you're never going to see practical effects like that ever again. Like, it's on another level. And, you know, it's got that classic John Carpenter soundtrack to it as well. It'll get stuck in your head, too. But yeah, guys, definitely watch that movie, 1982's The Thing by John Carpenter. Give it a watch. Liberate, tote me, ex inferis. Coming in at number 6 is 1997's space horror classic, Event Horizon. Wow, this, you guys, is a very, 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 very well done horror movie. Generally scary. I watched it lots when I was a kid, and I remember it was always on super late at night on HBO. We would always watch it because it was just so fucking scary and gory too on top of it. A very, 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 I don't want to say unwatched, but unheard of movie that was almost forgotten about. It's become a cult classic since its release. It didn't have a very good release in theaters. Not a lot of people went to watch it, which was unfortunate because it's a great fucking horror film. It's my number 6 for a reason. Yeah, you got Sam Neill, Lawrence Fishburne, you know, a great star-studded cast top to bottom. It's basically a movie about a group of astronauts that are going to retrieve a ship that was built like a decade earlier that was capable of creating wormholes to do deep space travel, and basically went through a dimension, like a hell dimension, and it brought some things on that ship. And of course, when they dock on that ship to retrieve it, they come into contact with these things, and it's very well done, guys. Easily top 10 scariest movies I've ever seen, and I love it. I can't wait. I think I've seen somewhere, I think there's a Hulu or a Prime, Amazon Prime. Somebody's doing a TV show on it, and I can't fucking wait, because like I said, one of the best horror movies of all time. Do yourself a favor and give this a watch, you guys. It'll be a movie you'll definitely watch every Halloween. Yeah, that's 1997's Event Horizon. So rounding out our top 5 is another franchise or series, and I have to include it because it's generally terrifying for one, the original 3 anyway, and it has the distinction of being the only movie I've ever been to in theaters that had somebody walk out during one of the terrifying parts. The movie I'm referring to is 2009's Paranormal Activity. Now, the person walking out did take place during the original movie in 2009. My fiance and me were watching it in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. we were in Toronto in October of that year for a Metallica concert, and Paranormal Activity had a limited run in theaters, but it had such a word of mouth how terrifying it was that as soon as I seen it was playing in one theater in Toronto, we went to watch it. And yeah, during the scene where she's getting pulled out of bed while she's in a dead sleep and trying to get dragged down the hallway while her husband's holding her back, it caused the guy to get up and get on his phone. He started walking out of there talking to somebody on the phone, and I said, "No, man, fuck that. I'm out of here, man. I'm not fucking watching this. Fuck that." And everyone burst out laughing. It was such tension because everyone was so terrified of that scene. And then he did that, and we all just burst out laughing. Very fucking well done for a found footage and found footage genre. Maybe even better than Blair Witch. But my god, the first 3 movies were masterpieces. They were all so scary. Now I think there's like 6 or 7 movies, you guys. And it's too much now. Like the first 3, I would recommend the first 3 if you were going to watch Paranormal Activity for the first time. The first 3 are genuinely terrifying, and they are so well done. It has to do with the demonic. If you've never seen or heard about this movie or movies, yeah, it's very scary. Definitely for October or any time of the year, but more for October. It'd be so fun. You're gonna watch it without the lights out and watch it late at night. You'll thank me if you want to scare. Yes, so that's our top 5. The Paranormal Activity franchise. Wouldst thou like the taste of butter? Coming in at number 4 is the 2015 classic from Roger Eggers, The Witch. You guys, if you've never seen The Witch and you love a good scare, good horror suspense movie, my goodness, give it a watch. It's so fucking well done. It's so dark, and it's got so many different layers of uncomfortableness among it. There's dead babies, there's teenage hormones, there's demonic stuff and demonic goats, and oh my god, you guys, and on top of it all, it was the world's first introduction to Anya Taylor-Joy, who plays the lead in the movie. And the movie's title suggests what the plot is. It's about a family of colonials that get kicked out of their fort for the father's overly religious views, and they're forced to live outside the fort on their own, and they encounter this witch who proceeds to fuck their shit up, basically, in the darkest, most uncomfortable manners, attacking the children, of course. You guys, this movie for me will always, I don't know, for the rest of my life, this is pretty deep. This movie will always have one of the most horrifying, scary scenes I've ever seen in a movie, because it's from my deepest, darkest nightmares. I've always had a nightmare when I was a little kid, and a little bit when I was a teenager and adult as well, of this cabin in a dark, thick woods, like I'm talking boreal forest, where it could be broad daylight, but it's so thick, the pines, that it's dark inside this forest. There's a tiny little cabin built here, and inside this cabin there's a killer, or a monster, whatever it may be, and I'm drawn to this cabin, and I don't know why. This fucking movie has that exact scene when the boy going out hunting encounters the witch's overgrown, like, cabin in the woods. It's built into the forest, basically. It gave me chills. It gave me goosebumps. It scared the shit out of me. The movie's so well done, though. It's not just that for me personally. Like, it's so eerie, and it's in my top 5 for a reason. And yeah, guys, you guys gotta check it out. 2015's The Witch by Roger Eggers. Man, you guys will thank me later if you're into giving yourself a scare, giving yourself a thrill of being terrified. This movie will do it. This movie will do it for sure. Check it out, guys. That's number 4. 2015's The Witch. So coming in at number 3 is the king of found footage genre, the original, which is 1999's The Blair Witch Project. Super, super basic movie. The Blair Witch Project and Paranormal Activity were in a Guinness Book of Records at one point or another for the cheapest amount of money spent in a movie with the most money made off of it. It's crazy how low budget these movies are. But, man, back in 1999, I think it was 1998, just to age myself, I was 12. And internet was just coming around, and we had internet in the school library. And we used to go in on the internet in their chat rooms, whatever it may be, and everyone was talking about this Blair Witch movie that was coming out, and it was about these people that got lost, and they found their footage, and they went looking for a witch. Well, they marketed this so great because it was a primitive internet, so no one knew what was fake or what was real, and they had missing posters of these actors and actresses, and you know, information about them, who to call if you can find them, all this stuff. So you actually thought this was real. I remember watching it in Meadow Lake when it came out in theaters, and everyone was fucking scared shitless. I watch it now, and it's really not that, because I've seen it so many times, though. For you, it would be terrifying if you've never seen it. But it's not so scary anymore for me, but it was just all that build-up, that hype. There will never be another Blair Witch Project, because it came around right at the turn of the internet age, and yeah, all that hype it had, word-of-mouth hype. They premiered it in universities and colleges all across Canada and North America, so it get word of mouth. And yeah, it just built up this anticipation. Everybody wanted to see it, and it really did fulfill everyone's need to be scared, and it lived up to the expectations. The ending scene with Josh and his look staring in a corner, great. Don't watch the other two Blair Witch Project movies, guys. Don't watch the stupid second one, and don't watch the third one that came out a couple years ago. It'll ruin the first one. It generally will ruin your image of what the first one is about. So yeah, guys, that's number 3. That is the Blair Witch Project. Check it out. So coming in at number 2 of my most scariest movies to watch around Halloween time is 2018's masterpiece by Ari Aster, Hereditary. My God, you guys, this movie was so unsettling and disturbing in theaters watching it. It really, really left me speechless, and it left me sitting there like, wow, I was all over. It was so well done, and so not what you thought it was about. You know, in the end, I don't want to ruin what the movie is about at the end, but you're like, what the fuck, this is what this is. You know, it's got a great cast: Gabriel Byrne, Alex Wolff, Toni Collette. Yeah, you guys, it's so fucking well done. The cinematography in it and everything else, like Ari Aster he's top notch when it comes to horror. I will always watch a horror movie. He does. Midsommar was on his list as well. Same eeriness, but Hereditary kicked it up a notch. Easily one of the most scariest movies in the last 25 years, I would venture. Yeah, it's still fresh in my mind, and I actually just watched it a few months back again because it's so fucking unsettling and unnerving, and it's not what you guys think it is. It's not what you think. It's dark. It's very, very dark. It's a horror movie for sure, you guys. There's dark, demonic elements in it, and yeah, I don't want to get into too much, but yeah, guys, I really don't want to give too much away. It has such a slow burn of suspense, and it comes out of left field. You kind of see it, and you kind of wonder, is this what this is about? And but you're like, the whole time it's got this aura or this feeling of like they're trying to make it seem like it's real, like this could be really happening. It's not fake or ghouls and ghosts kind of deal. So yeah, when it is revealed what it is in the end, it's quite a shocker, and it's so well done, and such a fucked up ending. You guys definitely check it out. That is 2018's Hereditary by Ari Aster. It's so fucking good. One of my favorite movies of all time. If I were to make a top 100, that would easily be in the top 50 for sure. That movie is great. Definitely check it out, guys, and get ready for what number 1 could be. So let's get to that. Coming in at number 1 is 1974's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is easily the most scariest movie I've ever seen in my entire life. To this day, it's unsettling. To this day, it gives me the creeps. You guys, it's just like I was saying with Wolf Creek. This is so believable. Because a family like this absolutely could exist somewhere in the deep south, you know. Maybe even somewhere in the deep dark south of Florida. The Everglades, you know. Little family off the grid could easily murder people. Easily consume them. The whole cast and characters, right down to the creepy grandfather. Leatherface, obviously, with his human skin masks. The cook, the uncle, I think he is, and the sheriff. Like, it's so fucking well done, and you feel so hopeless for the teenagers, because everywhere they turn to, these members are the people they run into are members of this family, the Sawyer family, and they just can't get away, and it feels so hopeless. So, oh my God, the dinner scene at the end of the movie, before she makes her escape, spoiler alert, it's so, like, the sound effects and the music and everything, the suspense before she goes crazy, as they try to get the grandfather to kill her, and he can't hold the hammer up because he's so fucking old. Then he sucks on her finger, and oh my God, it's so eerie and so terrifying. And guys, it's easily the scariest movie ever made, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions. It stands the test of time to this day. It could never be made in modern times with modern cameras, and you need it to be that low budgety like it was. Yeah, it could never be done like as a modern day movie and have the same effect it did back then. And even so, when I was a kid and I watched it for the first time, it was obviously old then. I remember my uncle rented it. I was renting horror movies, and I was like, I don't want to watch this old ass movie, and I couldn't stop watching it. It was so eerie, so creepy. And I remember it gives you like an idea that it's based on a true story and based on actual interviews and everything else. And my uncle, of course, being my uncle, told me it is true and all this, and I was so fucking disturbed and terrified, and it really did terrify me on a different level that no other movie has done since. So with that, we have to give it number 1. It's easily my number 1 and one of my most favorite movies of all time. As a result of that, it's a masterpiece. It's a cult classic, and it's a masterpiece. And you know, the Leatherface video I did on my ASMR channel for last Halloween is one of my most popular videos, and I'm super proud of it. And yeah, I did it with a lot of passion because I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and because of all that, it is my number 1, hands down. You guys probably knew that coming in, but yeah. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre, number 1 on our list. Alright guys, peace out. Thanks for watching the list. If you guys have any other movies I might have missed, list it down below for me. Maybe there's movies I missed that I had never seen yet and I want to check out. And yeah, let me know what you thought of the list. Let me know if I missed anything. Alright, everyone, peace out. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.